For, well, a bit of a discussion and debate on what's happened to sporting events this weekend. We've got some still taking place, but not Premier League football, for instance.
No, Premier League, EFL, any football, in fact, all the way down to grassroots football at the age of 8, 9 and 10, which some people did think was a little bit too far-fetched. But, yeah, football has been an outlier by itself, I would argue. I mean, as you say, some sports did follow it as well. For example, the Great North Run was going ahead. It was going ahead tomorrow. Overseas sport like the F1 and the US Open tennis tomorrow and today going ahead as normal. We're seeing cricket going ahead as normal today. It could even be wrapped up if England continue the way they're
right, yes,
going.
A lot of people looking at that as maybe a sort of moment of relief given what's been happening. But is it because William is with the FA and they thought maybe that as a mark of respect?
Yes, that's certainly the case. So when the FA make a decision on football, it's with the say-so of the Premier League and the EFL as well. It's all enveloped under the one roof, technically it is anyway, and they thought it would be a mark of respect to their patron's grandmother if they cancelled all football. And when they talk about football, they're talking about football all the way down to grassroots level. Behind that, there was some consternation yesterday. The government, quite rightly in my view, said to them, all sporting organisations, there's no obligation to shut down, but can you just please handle this? We've got loads to do. But
we saw the West Ham game where they had this spontaneous God save, well, the Queen as it was then, and of course, and the applause. And one reflects, well, maybe if they had the black armbands, that there was a moment of silence, whatever, that may be enough to allay people's fears.
Two things with that. First of all, you're not going to get the support universally in this country, certainly, and possibly in Scotland for the monarchy that there would be at West Ham. West Ham is the club who provided the England captain, who was presented with Bobby Moore in the 1960s by the Queen. It means a lot to them. She was rumoured to even be a West Ham supporter at the time. Rumoured to be, apparently so. So,
that's some breaking news.
She's been linked with a few clubs.
I'm forever blowing bubbles.
She's been linked with a few clubs. She's like a Premier League striker, you know. So, anyway, so there's that. There's also the fact that these tributes are really difficult to organise at short notice, and I think the clubs would rather pay homage maybe in 10 days' time. Right,
well, when we talk about Queen Elizabeth, let's forget about the football, let's talk about the horse racing, because we understand the St Leger is going ahead, is that right?
Yes, that's right. She's had winners there in the past. There's going to be a 9-race card there tomorrow. But again, they didn't cancel it completely, or they didn't say it's cancelled until further notice. They decided Saturday was the day they would give it up, but then it was going to be redone tomorrow. So that's absolutely fine. But then, you know, maybe there should have been a uniform decision taken across everything. The issue with the football is that they've got the World Cup coming up in 6-7 weeks' time. The fixtures are already concertina at either side of that World Cup. When are you going to play the games? So that's the issue there. But also the policing. Don't forget policing, Mark, because...
Yes, and clearly the Met has already indicated what's happening with London is a huge demand on their resources.
Yeah, so take, for example, 2 matches of little consequence in terms of the casual fan today, but Fulham playing against Chelsea would have happened at 12:30. That's 30,000 fans in West London. Queen's Park Rangers were due to kick off 3 hours later, another 15,000 due there. That's 45,000 people who need to be policed.
And trying to get from A to B across London with everything else happening at the moment.
Man United are in town tomorrow. They're going to Crystal Palace, 30,000 people. Arsenal host Everton. West Ham host Newcastle. Newcastle don't travel in light numbers. Another 60,000 there. I don't think football wants it on their doorstep to be blamed for diverting police resources away. And the football's a big thing here.
What about the horse racing, though, and what happens with Ascot and other... I mean, we know that, obviously, King Charles was a very keen and very accomplished polo player. I saw him playing at Midhurst on many times, but he doesn't seem to have that affinity with flat racing or over the jumps.
No, that's absolutely right, but I think you'll see announcements later in the week. There's a willingness by all these sports to get their games on as quickly as possible, get their fixtures done as quickly as they can. Champions League, for example, is going ahead as normal. We expect the EFL matches to go ahead. Golf was cancelled yesterday, but they're actually going ahead with that today. So we don't think we're going to see any play on that on Monday even. So I think you'll see all these horse racing meetings and everything else will happen back to normal. I don't think a lot of these business, in common with a lot of business as well, outside of sport, can afford to stay locked out for that long. There's the issue of fans wanting refunds. There's pressure on transport infrastructure as well. So we need to consider that.
Yeah, Aidan.